Everybody wants to live in a place where they can be happy, where they can be heard, and have their visions seen by the masses. I'm still looking for my chance to get heard out there.
I know I'm loud.
Can you hear me out there? Can you hear me out there? Can you hear me out there?
Can you hear me out there?
Can you hear me out there?
I know I'm loud.
Can you hear me
With
out
all of
there?
your favorite sounds.
Can you hear me out
You know
there?
I'm loud.
Can you hear me out there?
Can you hear me out there?
Can you hear me out there?
Would I be the song your daughter would sing, or be the tone on your phone when it vibrates and rings? Am I one of the more flavorful and savory things? One of hip-hop saviors and one of his favorite kings? I'm thinking, would I be whacker? Would my rhymes be legit? Would the critics give me some flack or tell me I was the shit? I'm frustrated over whether my style would be a hit. This is the type of thinking that make me wanna go and quit. I like to live where all things are glitter and gleam, where everything is golden, even all the rivers and streams. My mama told me way back when I was a teen, just because it's so good don't make it good as it seems. I wonder if they can hear me out there, where all of the beaches are black and all the water's so clear, where nobody's really whacking, everybody is aware that where they really wanna be ain't that far from here.
I know I'm loud.
Can you hear me out there? Can you hear me out there? Can you hear me out there?
Can you hear me out there?
Can you hear me out there? Can you hear me out there? Yeah. Can you hear me out there? Can you hear me out there?
Can you hear me out there?
Can you hear me out there?
I got a few things on my mind. I'm just sitting here thinking about space and time, and all the money I can make before I die, and living in a fancy house way up in the sky. See, I can imagine a case of beautiful women all over the place, and I'll pick one out with no time to waste, and then we'll hop up in my ship and get lost in space. Come on baby, let's take a trip. We can go from here to the outer limits, because you know I always got the good shit, and I've got the Kush road, so go ahead, take a hit. Yeah, I got my head in the clouds, so high all the time, I hope I never come down. And I hope I'm coming through loud and clear, so tell me,
Can you hear me out there?
I know I'm loud.
Can you hear me
With
out
all of your
there?
favorite sounds.
Can you hear me out
You know I'm
there?
loud.
Can you hear me out there?
Can you hear me out there?
Can you hear me out
I
there?
know I'm loud.
Can you hear me
With
out
all of your
there?
favorite sounds.
Can you hear me out
You know
there?
I'm loud.
Can you hear me out there?
Can you hear me out there?
Can you hear me out there?
So let me take a moment to illustrate where I reside. This place, this little golden twinkle in my eyes, with no angles or no tangents or no deconstructive sides, with no falsehoods or ill will or any obstructive lies. Where the sun and the moon always grow especially gold, where the most brutal winter never ever really blows cold, where everybody is true and souls are never sold, where people all go to die but no one ever grows old.
Out there.
This place where my name can gain greatness, where teachers never punish and punctuals for all their lateness, where the ghetto kids never get killed for wearing laces. It exists somewhere between TikToks and spaces, where the straightness will take away the tangles in your hair, where beautiful dreams and lights are dangle in the air with no wrinkles or anything to make it unclear. I'm just thinking, can you hear me out there?
Can you hear me out there? Can you hear me out there? Can you hear me out there?
Can you hear me out there?
Can you hear me out there? Can you hear me out there? Can you hear me out there?